Chile officials call for help as devastation sinks in. Chile's government, after initially waving off outside aid, changed course on Monday as the devastation from the powerful earthquake sank in and the nation's pressing needs became clear. With the desperation of many Chileans mounting, the United Nations said that the government had asked for generators, water filtration equipment, and field hospitals, as well as experts to assess just how much damage was caused by Saturday's magnitude 8.8 quake, one of the largest ever measured. Some say it was 500 times more powerful than the Haiti earthquake. Everything is now moving, said a spokeswoman for the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. We are looking immediately to match the needs. Chile has always been considered Latin America's most earthquake-ready country. Its children learn to run for cover during quake drills before learning to read. Its building codes are quite robust. Its disaster manual is thick, laying out all the scenarios for the quakes that are a regular part of life. But despite all that, this time it's different. Some say it was even more powerful than the earthquake from 50 years ago. The powerful quake that jolted Chileans awake has left the country reeling. Collapsed bridges and damaged roadways have made it very difficult to even get to some areas. Downed phone lines and cellular towers have made it impossible to communicate. And many residents in the most damaged areas have not only taken food from supermarkets, but also robbed banks, set fires, and engaged in other forms of lawlessness. The looters are more organized, said the mayor of Concepcion, who asked for more troops. The earthquake has also exposed the fact, experts say, that although Chile is one of the most developed countries in the region, it is also one of the most unequal, with huge pockets of urban and rural poor, who suffered most in the quake. It's the poorest Chileans who live near the epicenter. It was not just the violent shaking that tore Chile apart, but also the surge of waves that swept in along the coast, damaging many homes. A growing perception has begun to set in among many residents that the country was not as well prepared as it had thought. In Santiago, the capital, those left homeless after their brand new and supposedly earthquake-resistant apartments suffered severe structural damage were furious. Chileans are wondering aloud why food is not getting to the hungry faster, and why the politicians and soldiers seem to have been caught off guard or flat-footed. The government has been very slow to respond, complained Victor Perez, 48, who is sleeping in a tent. We have no water or lights, and most of the stores nearby are out of food. The frustration could be heard on Chilean radio, where residents called in to complain that government provisions had been too slow to arrive, and that almost all markets and stores had been stripped bare of food, water, and other supplies. In Angol, an inland town where the streets were strewn with the rubble of collapsed businesses, some basic services were beginning to come back online, if only slowly. Electricity was being restored in patches, though many streets and windows remained dark. The main hospital, built to withstand earthquakes, had been rendered unusable, and the closest alternative was some 90 miles away. Some gasoline had started pumping again, and at least 40 cars lined up at a local station. Many more people waited on foot in a tense line for gas. holding empty plastic bottles normally used for milk or water. Scuffles broke out, and nerves were frayed. Everyone's on edge. The threat of aftershocks was on everyone's mind. The government, which declared a state of emergency Sunday and deployed the military to the hardest hit areas, said it never dismissed outside assistance, but wanted to see how bad things were first. Experience over the years and in prior earthquakes, as well as from international cooperation efforts like in Haiti, have left us lessons, the foreign minister told reporters. We have to be very precise about what our needs are in order for the assistance to be of any use. But now, as each day passes, it becomes clearer in Chile that those needs are huge. Once again, it was a very powerful earthquake. While the effects of the earthquake appear worst on outlying areas, the capital itself received a significant jolt. The numbers of damaged buildings is increasing, not just from aftershocks, but from troublemakers who have set fire to businesses in the damage zone, including one building in Concepcion that collapsed on Monday. Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton, beginning a tour of Latin America on Monday, told reporters that the Chilean government had asked the United States for dozens of satellite phones to help overcome the damaged telephone networks, and that she would bring some when she stopped in Santiago on Tuesday for a previously scheduled visit. More American aid would probably follow as Chilean officials better survey the damage, which, once again, is huge. Chile has been devastated. The United States had search and rescue teams at the ready Monday, and Washington had also offered the Chileans a list of other emergency supplies it could provide if requested. Just weeks ago, it was Chile that was giving aid, not getting it. But now things have changed. And again, yes, this was a very big earthquake. More earthquakes. They seem or appear to be happening more, but never before. And there's something much more going on here. Something much bigger. Everything that's happening is connected. And these are more signs of the end times transition days. There is a huge transition. It is a process. It happens day by day all around the world. And there are many signs.